right, so we officially have an official who's not colorblind now. Y'all ready for the next fight? Me too. All right, here we go. Blue corner, Chris Alberto.
So just as we mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, another debut here today. Chris Alberto representing Empire MMA. And he looks like he is in fantastic shape, ready for this one.
You know, for a debuter, he seems to be enjoying the moment right now, making the most of his time. And, you know, honestly, I love to see that. These guys train for weeks and months, going through diet, going through exercise, going through weight training, and all sorts of different practices just so that they can have a few minutes in the cage.
Right.
So it's fun to see them enjoying their moment.
Absolutely. I mean, you can only imagine spending that much time dedicating your life to something to not just really enjoy it. You know what I mean? Okay. A little bit of a style coming in here. And I mean, it's great to see, you know, like he's enjoying himself, and that means that he's calm, and that means that he's ready for this moment. This is, like you said, what he's been working for, and now it's just time for him to go in and show the world what he's been cooking. And I mean, it's going to be a tough debut here for him, but knowing Vigilant MMA, just because it's a debut going up against someone like Devin Flores, this isn't a mismatch. This has got to be somebody who's got some skill and ability, and this is going to be a big fight. And it looks like he's got the nickname Birdman there.
And fighting out of the red corner, Devin Flores.
So Chris the Birdman Alberto. And this is the man we spoke of earlier, Devin Flores, currently undefeated as a boxer and as a kickboxer. Last time we saw Flores was actually at Combat Quest 24. He won by a knockout in the first round in his boxing bout. Previously, he won by majority decision in Combat Quest 23 in the same discipline. Last time we saw him do Muay Thai kickboxing, though, was a little bit further back. Combat Quest 21 was his last Muay Thai kickboxing bout. He won that one by unanimous decision over a very game Chris Johnson. And Flores looking calm, just as we mentioned before. Looks like he's been preparing for this moment. Looks like he's just in as great a shape as ever. He's relaxed, calm, good demeanor, and he's ready to go today.
Flores comes from an experienced team. Def War has been one of the prominent MMA gyms in the Tampa area for a while now.
Absolutely.
In his corner, he's got Brandon Lewis. Brandon Lewis has been on the Contender Series twice, so there's a lot of experience in his corner right now for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight will be in the style of Muay Thai kickboxing in the weight class of 132+1.
And it's time for the adults.
Fighting out of the blue corner, making his combat sports debut, fighting out of Empire MMA, Chris Alberto!
Seems like we got some Chris Alberto fans in the building.
And his opponent, a veteran of 3 bouts, undefeated in boxing with a record of 2-0 and kickboxing with a record of 1-0, fighting out of Def War, Devin Flores!
Flores just looking disinterested.
Both look ready. Both look very ready.
Flores staring a hole through the Birdman. Cage doors are going to be sealed. And again, each round is going to be 2 minutes. There will be 3 rounds if we need to go that far.
These 2-minute rounds are a flurry of violence, I'm telling you. 2 minutes is such a short time.
Both fighters opening up, staying active with the feet.
Trading immediately.
Nice shot coming there from Rodriguez, or excuse me, from Berto. So much fast-paced
This is high-paced action from the get-go.
I have a feeling this fight's going to be a total race from start to finish.
100%. I mean, you talk about like the guys who are 125, 130, those kind of weight classes always tend to be such fast flurries fights. Like just like we're seeing right now, it's kind of hard to even keep track of it with you guys.
Now, stylistically, what makes this very interesting as well is they're in the opposite stance. So anytime an orthodox is fighting a southpaw fighter, it means all of their heavy weapons are loaded and
Big
open at all
left hand
times.
stumbled Alberto.
Nice knees to the body from both fighters.
Yeah, absolutely. Big knees landing in the clinch for both of them.
Guys, this has been a minute of non-stop action already.
No, absolutely. And then when we talked about the boxing experience of Devin Flores, you can really see that coming into play here with his slips. Nice shot to the body.
He dropped him.
He's going to get a standing
He's
eight
gonna get a
count.
standing 8.
And we'll see if he's able to answer.
Alberto
that was
stands
a
up.
big body shot. I was talking about the hands of Flores, and he goes and shows us what his feet do. My Lord, what a beautiful body shot, and that's got to be the game plan for Flores going forward. Knowing he's got that weak spot now.
This is what I was talking about fighting in the opposite stance. You always have to be wary of those hard kicks and hard rear punches. They're always set.
And there's the boxing of Flores coming into play and landing a nice 3-punch combo. Firing a couple more up the middle, trying to back him up. Big punches landing from Flores here, and I mean relentless. Another big body shot pops right off of the Birdman. Another 1-2 that lands cleanly for Flores, and Flores is teeing off right now on the Birdman.
The Birdman with the
Going for
sweep.
a dump, but Flores does a good job of hanging on. I believe that marked the end of the first round. And it was, yes, that was the end of the first round with a big dump there at the end. And I mean, just before that dump, Devin Flores was letting off. Look at the replay here. You're gonna see the Birdman trying to move forward, and that was the big body kick that dropped the Birdman.
Sometimes those body shots have a delayed onset.
No, absolutely. I mean, you saw him try to grit his teeth and power through it, but unfortunately just a little bit too much. So right now, if you're in the corner of Birdman, Jake, I want to ask you, if you're in the corner of Birdman, you've already seen him go down once with a big body shot. We've seen the advanced boxing of Flores come into play. What are you telling him right now?
You know, your fighter's down the first round. I would tell him what he did good in the first round and what he did really bad. So, you know, he's got to cover that body shot, the liver. Flores is eating him up there, and he's got to really start using his weapons. You know, he can't be just a standing show there. He's got to move. He's got to use his weapons. But just tell him what he did good. Tell him to get back on that and progress round 2. He's got his win back in. So
absolutely. I mean, you got to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please. Once again, we ask that you not record the fight. No flash photography.
I'm still not over that first round.
No recording.
That was crazy.
No,
That was wild.
It was a lot to keep up with. And I mean, you got to imagine that.
This is what I do this for.
Matty Ice has got his rush here today, and understandably, as we're opening up into round 2 of a fast-paced fight. Another big body shot landing from Flores. And Birdman's got to be careful here, trying to go for the spin kick, left himself a little bit exposed, but able to get out of it. Both fighters training some little leg kicks here. Solid one landing there from Flores. Another big
nice
one.
counter right down the middle.
Both fighters landing in that exchange. Nice leg kick there. Flores with the 1-2 answers.
Again with that slip off. All right.
And this is probably got to be the game plan. This is what I was trying to mention earlier. You got to imagine Birdman's corner is telling him he's got to find those slips. Devin Flores is going to be firing off. You got to time it right. And there's some of those big shots that we were just talking about. Devin, a very experienced boxer. Big body shot lands again, and you got to know he's got to be hurting. 2 shots landed there pretty cleanly. Birdman tries to answer a body shot of his own, kind of glanced off of Flores. Flores keeps the flurry coming, finishes with the left.
I'm very impressed with Flores' ability to let off multiple shots with the hands. You see a lot of fighters pick off 1, maybe 2, maybe even 3 shots. Flores is very good about continuing his assault, linking these shots together. That's hard to deal with from a defensive angle.
Right, there's a lot of fluidity between these shots with a big left hand landing there.
And he's finding angles. Every shot or 2 shots he throws, he switches the angle.
The Birdman loves the spinning slug.
I'm going to say he's gone for that a lot. Flores landing a big head kick there. Somewhat checked by the Birdman, but still had some effect. Flores got that leg kick, but big right landed there from...
This crowd is appreciating this fight as much as I am right now.
As they should be. I mean, these 2 athletes are putting on an absolute show right now. Big body shot lands.
And like you were talking about, listen, you can't take anything away from a debuter.
No,
if you were to watch him fight right now, you would not think this is the first time that the Birdman has entered a cage.
No way. inside the final 10 seconds here of the second round. Nice left hand landed there from Flores. Rocks the head of the Birdman. Birdman looks a little bit worn down right now, trying to make it to the end of the second round, and he does. I gotta catch my breath.
What a round.
Wow.
What a round.
They're making me earn my money right now, sitting here, gassing me out, and I'm just talking.
I'm
glad it's going to the third.
No videos or flash photography allowed.
Contender for fight of the night by far.
We're just getting started.
And we're just getting started. This is only the second fight.
They set the bar high. They set the bar high
I was
already.
about to say, I feel bad for whoever has to follow this because this has been an absolute battle. So right now, as we know it, both fighters have really seen what the other one has. We've seen a lot of boxing and some very active feet coming out of Flores. But in that second round, we started to see Alberto, the Birdman, come alive a little bit more. He started getting those counters, getting those slips, staying a little bit more active. That didn't necessarily might have won him the round. I think we do need to see a finish out of the Birdman here. But I mean, Flores has been so impressive today.
I think if I'm in Alberto's corner,
Also,
to be
ladies
honest
and
with
gentlemen, we do have a 50-50
that second round was so
raffle
close,
out in
and I think what
the
people will remember
lobby
from the
in
first
between
round is him being
fights.
dropped to that
Feel free
body
to
shot.
go get your tickets.
I think he
Going
needs
for
to
a
take
good
away with
cause.
the
You have a chance to win
with a
some
dominant
amazing
performance in
prizes
this
out
third
there.
round if he wants that.
Absolutely.
But the question is, who wants it more? They're both pretty exhausted. They
Right.
both had a high amount of volume release.
Right.
It comes down to the last 2 minutes and who's willing to throw it out there.
And we're going to see, I mean, just like you said, he's going to have to kind of erase the memory of that knockdown from the judges. Got to get some respect back here, if not go for the finish. And we're going to see what happens here. Both fighters receiving final instructions are going to touch gloves. Round 3, the final 2 minutes of what's been a flurry of a fight. Both fighters are ready and we are underway. There's the bell. Some boxing to open up the third round. Big punches landing from Flores.
Very accurate with his punches. Sticks and moves.
Yeah, he picks his shots very well. Ooh, some hard round kicks.
Both fighters landing. Big body shot lands again. And I mean, to Birdman's credit, he's wearing them well.
You gotta be conscious. If you're Birdman right now, again, he's circling to that right side. You're circling into those body shots.
Right.
And maybe this is something he'll take away for his next fight in the future.
Right. Absolutely.
If we fight a southpaw, just know you have to circle outside that lead leg.
Nice knee.
Active
Big
to the
knee
body.
from Devin Flores. This might be the
active
beginning
to
of
the
the end
body.
here. Some really big knees firing off against the Birdman, and he looked like he was hurt, but able to circle out. Another big knee landing. Birdman doing his best to defend his body, but it seems like Flores smells blood in the water. Let's see if he's able to go for it here. Trying to capitalize, checked by the Birdman. Nice body shot lands anyways. Flores, another right hand.
Under 1 minute to go in this last round.
Nice little trip there from Flores.
Defend yourself at all times.
Another big body shot. And I don't know how he's still standing right now. Flores is just teeing
He's
off.
tough. He's a dog. He's tough. Flores is on the hunt right now.
And the knees
He goes
drop
down.
him.
We're getting
He's
another
going to get a
standing
standing
eight
eight count. We're going to have to see if he's able to answer. Those were big knees out of that clinch.
The cardio of Flores is impressive.
No, absolutely. I mean,
to be able to dig those shots like he's working a bag, it's not easy. I'm telling you, it's not easy.
Birdman's breathing heavy.
Right back to the body.
It looks like he
right
doesn't
back
have
to the
any
body.
more left.
He likes that body.
Flores just absolutely annihilates him with more body shots.
And
that's
that's
going to be the
ref's
end of
seen
it.
enough.
A huge finish from Devin Flores with some big body shots. We saw him working on that the entire fight. It started with that big shot that dropped him in the first round. In the second round, he continued the level changes, kept beating into that core. In the third round, he finished him off. Those big knees that brought him to the cage with the subsequent punches that ended with Birdman on the ground. And I mean, for a third time, that kind of damage in a debut, it's just not worth it at that point. And I mean, and again, that's one thing that we forgot to mention. Again, this is a debut fighter.
I honestly can't even believe that. I thought he showed a lot of experience.
No, 100%.
A very high fight IQ for the most part.
Absolutely.
There's things he's got to work on. I'm sure his corner is going to correct that. And, you know, back to Flores, I think as active as he's been, it's really paying off. I mean,
no, absolutely.
He knew exactly what he was looking to do in all moments, even in wild exchanges.
Right.
He kept a really good high guard.
Absolutely. Flores showing his respects for his downed opponent. As you're going to see the replay, those are those big knees that were firing off in the corner that led to the second downage for the Birdman. And then the third was coming from those big body shots.
You can be as tough as they come, but when your opponent is doing that effective work to your body, your body wants to protect its vital organs. It can't even help it. It's going to start to draw your extremities in to protect itself.
I mean, it's good to see the Birdman is up under his own power.
I love that nickname, by the way, the Birdman.
Birdman,
and if you do notice, he's got a bird centered at the top of his spine.
He sure does. Look at him.
He does.
That's awesome.
So rightfully so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's send you up now to the announcer, Wild Bill, for the official announcer of our winner, Devin Flores.
What a fight.
Absolutely. I mean, like we said, fight of the night, and it's only the second fight.
I could watch that.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by TKO